Hi, everyone. We'll start in 2 minutes. Thank you. Right. Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome to the session. First of all, welcome to our members and also welcome to all the public as well, because today's session is going live on YouTube as well due to Alan's travel arrangements. Instead of actually, canceling it off, we are actually going live and giving you sort of an insight onto our Sunday session as well. Just to, keep that in your mind that you won't be able to send any chat or messages to me. I will be only able to read comments and chats from our members who have joined using the Zoom link that was posted on your dashboard. So for our members, for the WTW members, all of you, you can, keep sending the comments and messages as usual. But for the YouTube public, you won't be able to do that. You can just only hear. And if you hear me reading the messages, it will be probably from the Zoom live session where our members are actually sending the questions. Okay. So this is some sort of a pattern of our sessions, especially on Sundays, where we actually go through all the geopolitics, anything that could impact the market, anything that we should be aware of, and anything which we as a trader should know about. Okay. So we go through them first, then we go to the calendar, go to some fundamental KPIs, any KPIs that has impacted in the past and could impact us in the future. We go through them as well. Considering the high volatility, we consider them first. Then we head over to the charts. So this pretty much is the, the structure of our sessions. So again, if you have any comments, if you have any questions, we really, really hope that, you guys enjoy it as well. I'm referring to the YouTube public, but for all our members, as usual, we'll head over to the charts. I really hope that you guys have actually, managed to make decent money last week, because most of the trades of the week have actually gone into our profits. Once I go through the charts, I'll explain that to you in further details anyway. Today, I will be posting the trades of the week, the potential trade setups in your dashboard. I will not be covering during this live session. I will be giving you the hints that, that's what you should be looking for, the potential setups, but I will not be giving you exactly which will be the trade of the week, because it won't be fair for people who are actually paying for, our membership. Okay. So it will be posted on your dashboards right after the session. But for general, YouTube audience, you will be getting those potential setups while I'm actually talking today. Okay. Right. So again, quickly, just a few messages. Robert here, West Yorkshire. Hi, Robert. Welcome. Riyadh, good afternoon, Professor. I trust you keeping well. I'm really well. Thank you, Riyadh. Dollar was bid on Friday. Indeed, it was, Robert. We'll touch base on that reasoning as well. Why, despite having the negative data for dollar started to push to the upside. And also, I'm really hoping that you guys have actually, captured that drop during the CPI from the exact same level that we have actually told you on Wednesday. And then from there, if any of you are keeping it, keep holding on to it. I'll explain you further what we are expecting for the rest of this week. Ali, with latest data, Powell may be forced to hold new hike. Indeed, and default may not happen as McCarthy said. So how the market takes this and what might dollar behave against the pairs? Good question, Ali. We'll talk about that one shortly as well. Steve, sound and screen is good. That's why YouTube. Thanks. Brilliant. Thank you, Steve. Michael, good evening, sir. Previous trades of the week were exceptional in terms of result. Fantastic, Michael. I'm really hoping that in the future as well, you keep gaining profits. Jason, good day. Mr. Tay, trust you keeping well. AV, good. Fantastic. Thank you, Zohair. And good afternoon to everyone who is joining just now. Right, quickly going back towards last week's CPI data. As you guys remember that I was actually mentioning about CPI being a very, very important KPI, especially last week. There was a reason for it, because many spectators, many investors were actually expecting the pivot to start after this CPI, and it will eventually start, because CPI last week was sort of, effective, in terms of the decision making of the Feds going forward. There are a few factors from the CPI, as you know that, they expected the CPI to be 0.4%. It actually came forward as actual has been 0.4%. The year to date, year on year actually was actually below the forecast, which is also, showing the Feds that by them, hiking the rates, it is actually impacting the inflation, and it's started to damp the inflation. At the same time, you must have seen that after the CPI, the PPI data came negative. Even then, dollar started to, go bullish. Okay. Many of you must be wondering, why has this happened? Even though the PPI data was negative, after that, we had the sentiment was also negative, but still dollar started being, bullish. Remember, if you continue keep, increasing the interest rate, at some point they have to stop. Okay. When the Fed stop hiking the interest rate, we call in the financial language pivoting. Okay. And that's what investors are actually betting on at the moment. They're expecting the pivot to start going forward. Okay. It's at the top, level, 5.25% interest rate in United States. And that's the highest at the moment in the market. After that, obviously, New Zealand is also at the same level, but comparatively, United States economy is much bigger than the New Zealand. So that's why we take that as a precedent, because if I have got my money and if I wanted to actually inject into any of the banks, I'd probably be going for the United States, because it's a bigger economy, and then I'll be getting the exact same return what I'm actually getting in the New Zealand, even though they are a smaller economy. But still, it's the trust, and also it's the majority of the investors where they are actually prone towards. Okay, so one thing is that. Now, second thing that you should all be aware of, many banks have actually, in the past 4 to 5 banks have actually started to go bankrupt. Okay. It started with the, Silicon Valley, Silver Crust. And then after that, now last week and the week before, you were, hearing the news about the First Republican Bank that also has gone bankrupt. And now this is, again, I've been saying that to you guys since the last year. Those of you who are actually our members, they would know it. It's been the case since the early, Q4 last year. I've been saying that this year, Q3 after, we are expecting a recession to trigger, okay, globally. And because of that, it's just a dominoes effect. You'd see that slowly this all will start to trigger with the smaller banks, and then it will start to trigger towards the bigger banks. At the moment, as of last week, I did give you the number, $12.5 billion of deposits have been actually, gone down in just United States. And this month, including the last week itself, it's gone to $17 billion. And this is showing the lack of trust in the banks from the depositors. Okay. So now from the Fed's perspective, they are expecting, they were expecting the CPI to be under control. Last week's data has actually confirmed that it is actually working in their favor. Now, the unemployment rate that we have seen the week prior to that was also under control, 3.4% compared to 3.5%, which they were expecting. Also, that is also under control. Now, if they keep on increasing the interest rate, the more banks will start to collapse. Okay. Now, the de-dollarization campaign with the interest rate, being the highest, with the CPI under control, with the banks collapsing, and with the unemployment rate under control as well, there is no point for them to actually keep on hiking the rate. Now, because of that, you would see that investors will start, to see that once they start to pivot, it might be actually having opposite effect. Rather than actually dollar being bearish, you would expect the dollar being bullish. And all of our members would know it. I've been saying that to you guys, that in the month of May, we are expecting dollar to be bullish. It's always been the case. If you go and check the history of the last 20 years, the seasonality always kicks in May. Okay. And that is the seasonality factor. At the same time, you're going to see that a lot of other factors that are actually undermining, especially with the lending options for the consumers, it's getting limited. Because of this, the demand for the real estate, the demand for their bonds will also be shrinking. Okay. And that's the main reason they will have to start pivoting. And to answer to your question, Ali, you must have got the answer. But this time when they start to pivot, you would see that investors will start to buy, dollar. So what this week, at the end of this session, I'll tell you what exactly I'm expecting for individual currencies. What is the CAD for this week, Chief, and the yen? Pretty much most of the safe havens, I'm expecting them to be stronger this week. Okay. Dollar most likely will be a sideways movement. But again, once we go through the pairs, we will see that the trend will start to, be much more visible to you. Okay. So again, keep that in your mind. Most of these things that we have talked about, and we always talk about these things, it does not necessarily have to impact your trading on the day-to-day basis, but it will eventually gives you the structure, knowledge. When you combine that fundamentals with your structures, you're going to see that whatever decisions you're going to take from the, any of the trades, you will be having much more confidence in that. Okay. Remember, trading is not only just one thing, understanding the structure, trading those structures and sticking to your plan is the most important thing in this whole, business. So please stick to all these pillars. If you do that, there's no way you're going to be, left out. Okay. As you must have seen that, in the last week, what market has been doing, luring you into, thinking that this is not going to go, but eventually before Friday, all the trades of the week has actually, given you at least a small profit. Okay. Now, once we go through them, this week also, we will have a potentially very decent trades that I'll be posting in your dashboards shortly. But keep an eye on one thing that I've been actually reading about a lot lately, and I've been saying that to you from July onwards, I'm expecting Turkish lira to take on this bullishness. I'm expecting much more buyers to enter to buy Turkish lira, which means I'm expecting if you're actually, selling to your USD TRY, you'll be good because there are elections going on at the moment, and most likely we have we might have a change of government this time after 2 decades. There are a few reasons. I'm not going to go into too much detail, but this is some sort of a case study for all of you. Just go and have a read about it. On top of that, again, I've been saying that to you after 100 years, Turkey is coming out from Treaty of Lausanne, which will give them immense powers on the seaport, especially, which actually links Asia to the Europe. And because of that, they can actually have a lot of benefits. So keep an eye on this one. Please remind one of you, once I have gone through the other pairs, let me go through the USD TRY as well. And also, please, one of you remind me when we go to the request list to go for Google. There is something that I've actually seen, like I've told you for the Microsoft few months ago. And those of you who have actually bought that time, you must be making money. Google is another opportunity. We need to touch base on that. And when we go there, I'll explain to you why I'm expecting Google to become a bit more bullish in the coming days. Okay. Right, that was all the geopolitics for now. If I see anything else during the week, I probably would touch base on that, on Wednesday. Otherwise, we'll probably, go back to the Sunday session next week, where I will have much more updates for you. Okay. Now, those of you who doesn't know, just for the update, because obviously this is the live session going on the YouTube as well, I just wanted to quickly show you this one. This is our website. If any of you are interested, this is the only membership you need. I'm not asking you to, go and join us. I'm asking you to do your due diligence. Go and find out in the industry what we are trading in. Who's the best, look at the reviews and then decide for yourself. Okay, but you need somebody to actually take your hand and take you towards the other path. Remember, there's a reason why more than 80% of the traders are losing money in this business. Okay, because you're always guessing. Guesswork does not work in this business. I promise you that. It's always going to be your knowledge that is going to help you when the market is actually bumpy. Okay. And because of that, we expected April and May to be very bumpy months. We have given an extra hand for all the WTW members to join our daily trading room sessions, where every single day we have 2 trading rooms opened by one of our seniors or moderators, which actually go through the charts every single day twice. Right, going back to the calendar. Now, Monday, we are expecting Empire State Manufacturing Index. Again, as you can see that from the actual last time, it was 10.8. This time, they're expecting this number to be negative 3.7. Remember, this manufacturing index, it impacts the consumer sentiment. It impacts the trust in the economy. Okay. This is the indirect effect I'm talking about. The direct effect, obviously, you will have to, I don't want to go into too much of economics here, but all I can tell you is this impacts the GDP, the gross domestic product of any country. Okay. In this, case, it will be United States GDP. Now, if they're expecting this number to be negative 3.7%, you would expect, a temporary weakness coming towards dollar in the early part of the week. Now, again, if that's what happens, you're going to expect the corrective structure to start shortly. When we go to the chart, I'll explain to you further, what we are expecting because of this. This might be the start of a corrective structure, in the dollar. Then on Tuesday, we are expecting claim and count change. Again, this might actually give GBP some strength, which is what I'm expecting anyway. Then it will lead us towards CPI. CPI month on month, they're expecting this number to be exactly the same. Year on year, they're expecting it to go down. And again, trimmed CPI, they're also expecting it to go to the downside along with the common CPI. So if that would be the case, you would expect short-term temporary weakness in the CAD. I'll explain to you shortly how you're going to trade and what structure you would expect before you trade this to the downside. But at the moment, we can see some weakness coming because of this news in the CAD pairs, and which means the alternative of CADs will be pushing back up. Okay. Now, again, on that day, on Tuesday, we would be expecting the core retail sales month on month and the retail sales, both these numbers, they're expecting it to be better than the last time, which I would not doubt, because this would start the corrective structure. This will push this, the middle wave of the correction. And then from Wednesday onwards, we probably would have another drop come in before market will start to push back up. Shortly, I will explain that to you in the charts as well. It's just I'm trying to break it down to give you the volatility that the news would probably give in order to finish that structure that we are expecting. Okay. Now on Wednesday, we are expecting the wage price index quarter on quarter. Again, that also be expected to go to the upside. Short term, I'm expecting Aussie pairs to go to the upside. Short term. Okay. Once I go to the chart, I'll explain that to you. This might give some volatility. BOE governor speaking on the Wednesday as well. Most likely, before that, you will have my recording, which will give you the updated structures, what GBP or any of the majors would probably be potentially doing. Okay. Then on Thursday, we have employment change and unemployment rate. They are expecting these two numbers to be, as you can see there, what they are really expecting is the employment change number to fluctuate massively compared to the last actual. 53 grand was actual this time. It's less than even half, which is 24.1K. and unemployment rate, they are expecting to stay the same. I doubt these two numbers would be pretty similar to what they are really expecting here. If that would be the case, you would expect nothing but the sideways movement, because one will cancel the other. Okay. Then we would expect unemployment claim for the United States. This probably would, again, like I said, they're expecting this unemployment claims to go down, which is a good thing for the United States dollar. But if that would be the case, and if market will start to give us some sort of another structure, this news will potentially make a slightly messy structure again. We'll touch base on that on Wednesday. Then we will have better structures and more chart in front of us. Then on Friday, we have the Fed chair token. Most likely, we're going to get some sort of a hint from him that he might be pivoting, and that probably would give dollars some sort of a bullishness if the structure that we are thinking stays the same. Okay. Shortly, I will explain that to you, the possibilities, and if you were to see those possibilities, how you're going to trade those possibilities. Okay. So that is pretty much the fundamentals for this week. Quickly, before we go towards the charts, let me just read one more message and then we'll head over without spending too much time. Robert, for our economy to grow, the larger banks needs to be broken up and smaller local regional banks established. Money is then distributed into local businesses. Turkey needs a new government. Erdogan has stifled development. Robert, that's definitely your point of view. I respect that. And in terms of your first question, absolutely, I agree with you. Remember what you are actually, if you go to any bank, if you just deposit $10 in there, only $1 will be available to you if tomorrow you're going to actually, withdraw that money, because $9, more than 9, actually, I'm being very optimistic by saying $1. $9 of your money that you're going to deposit in any of these fixed, accounts will be actually available to you to withdraw later on. If you go, any of you go to the bank and say that I want 50 grand, to be withdrawn, they would actually be telling you they don't have that money in the bank, because they don't have it, because they actually take 90% of that money, invest it in there or loan it to other people. It's your money that gets actually goes to the other lenders, or to any of, like, for your money. If I go and start to borrow from the bank, I would actually buy your money for a percentage that I will be giving it to them. Okay, so it's that. Again, as soon as the depositors goes down, that's when the liquidity shortage will start to kick in. Okay. But in terms of the Turkey, yes, this might actually be something good for the Turkish government. This is the first time all the opposition parties are actually, getting together against Erdogan. And most likely we're going to see some sort of, change of government. If that would be the case, I'll show you shortly on the charts what we are expecting, for Turkish lira. Right. Before going into too much detail of, what we are really expecting for the charts, let me just quickly say to you guys, those of you who are watching us on YouTube, make sure you actually change your settings to 1080p. This is a HD version that we are actually, broadcasting at the moment. So make sure you actually watched with the, HD version. Right. So dollar. Now, last week, we were expecting dollar to give us some sort of a reaction here in this part, in this area. Market actually shot down due to CPI and kept going to the upside despite having any negative news. It just ignored it. Again, I explained you the reason at the start of this session. Make sure if you have missed it and you have just joined, make sure you listen to it. It will actually give you a little bit of a perspective. If you're wondering why it kept on going to the upside despite having all negative news. What we are expecting for this week is a consolidation here. Now, this consolidation is a very crucial part here, okay? Because remember, if this consolidation does not happen, it can actually break down further, okay? And that breakdown could actually happen before the Friday this week, regardless of whatever, they're going to plan, or they are actually dropping it all the way to the downside. Even if it breaks this bottom here, which I'm not expecting at the moment as of today, still dollar will push back up in this month. Today is the 14th of May. We still have 15 days to go in this month. I'm expecting this month to be positive for dollar in all the cases. Okay. Now, if it comes down for a corrected structure, that will be your confirmation. That will be your opportunity to actually get into this trade for the push to the upside. Again, as I was saying, if the first news, which is Empire State, will get negative, it will start this consolidation. The rest of the news will give you a corrective structure. Then on Thursday, we expect another drop before the Feds probably will push this to the upside on Friday. Okay, this is a possible structure. Now, what will change if that wouldn't happen, and if market continuously kept going to the upside here with the Empire State? Where would you expect the reaction? The first reaction we are expecting from the market would be somewhere around here in this zone 103. If market breaks this level here, comes back down, breaking 102.5 here, somewhere around this zone, you can expect the next level to be above 104. 104.5. Those of you who are on YouTube, usually what we don't reveal that stuff, but we are betting for the dollar to actually go towards 110 in the next few months. Okay, so this is where we are actually heading towards if dollar were to break 103, come back down for a corrective structure. But if it starts the corrective structure from here, it will just take more time. Okay, what will change this whole structure to be a corrective structure here for a break to the downside? The only thing would be a break of this one breaking at least 102.5 here. Consolidation, not much of a bigger consolidation, break down towards 102 and then a consolidation. If that happens, you can take this trade to the downside, and potentially you can keep it all the way towards 101.5. This will be the first reaction in the market. If it gives you a corrective structure, it will break down further, breaking these two bottoms without breaking this bottom. Okay, but because if market will break these two, it will grab some liquidity below these, gives you a slightly bigger consolidation, and then this will be the next move. And then next week, probably market will start to go to the upside. Again, if this scenario, will start to unfold, we'll let you know on Wednesday. But for now, this is not the scenario we are expecting. We are expecting a corrective structure here, starting from tomorrow morning onwards, as something like a short-term down move. Okay, it could be something similar like this and this all together in this week. Okay, euro dollar has started to fall. As we all know that we were expecting market, even if it goes to the upside here, we did say that we are expecting this to break down. Okay, for our traders, we did say that we are expecting it to go break 1.09 and consolidate, which is what market did here for a break to the downside. If any of you are in the sell, make sure as soon as market opens tonight, you are taking at least 50% off. Okay, the reason why I'm saying 50% off, because from this level here, I'm expecting market to start pushing to the upside as a consolidation, minimum as a consolidation. Okay, and this could turn out to be some sort of a bigger consolidation as well. So in all the cases, you need to get out with a 50%, put the rest at break even. Do not, leave it at the original level, move it to the break even, play risk free for the rest of the trade. If it takes you out and gives you consolidation, get back in again. Okay, because this is not done yet. It's going to start to give us this consolidation early part of the week. Without breaking 1.08, it's going to start this push to the upside. If it breaks 108, it will be continuing to the downside without giving you any bigger consolidation, okay, which we are not expecting at the moment. If it does, it will have to give you some further consolidation first, and that would be more than enough for you to get out. Okay, minimum, I'm expecting the consolidation to go above 1.09 to 1.095, somewhere around here in this zone. So see what market gives you a reaction here. If it gives you consolidation, it will push back up. Otherwise, it will break down from here. Pound dollar was good. Remember, we were expecting pound dollar. Let me just go to the 1 hourly to explain that to you. We were expecting for the BOE to go to the upside. Okay, BOE has pushed this to the upside because market was actually going to the upside and came back down. This was a confirmation for you as a corrective structure. Okay, this is a potential corrective structure. If any of you would have taken the buy with the BOE, you must have made money, because this was a decent move to the upside for a good 100 pips. Okay, if you haven't taken your trade off, or you're still in the trade, you shouldn't. You should, as soon as market will push to the upside, close your trade. Okay, because it will be pushing back up this week. the worst case scenario for you would probably be, either a small profit or a break even. Okay, because I'm expecting market to start pushing to the upside again towards 1.25, 255. This sort of a level where I'm expecting some sort of a corrective structure to finish. Short term, if you want to buy it, you can scalp it to the upside. Most likely you're going to get at least 100 pips move to the upside minimum. Okay, but in the best case scenario, you can actually go above 2.5, give you a consolidation, comes back down towards 2.5, 2.48, come back up again 1.26, and then break down. Okay, this could be also a potential possibility. In all the cases, it's going to be making a corrective structure early part of this week. Later part, we might actually get another break to the downside. Okay. Aussie dollar, we were expecting Aussie dollar to push back up on Wednesday. As you know that we were expecting this break. Market did break that and then came back down. If any of you have taken this sell, you must be in the profit. If you haven't booked your profit, make sure as soon as market opens tonight, take 60 to 70% off. It's going to push back up here again. If it gives you consolidation, it will be breaking down once more. I'm expecting something similar in the opposite direction here. That will be your confirmation that further downside will be coming. If any of you have taken the sells from above this, top, put it to break even, take 60% off. If it gives you corrective structure, enter back again. And the next reaction will be below this level here. Dollar yen also was really good. With the CPI, you must have traded this to the downside. We expected market to break down at least 100 pips with the CPI. And I did mention that exactly at this level, 100 pips from exactly this point, you minus that, and then you should be able to get that 100 pips, okay, with the CPI. If it doesn't break before CPI, then CPI will break it. If any of you have kept that one and, took this profit, you did good. At this point in time, this structure has both the possibilities. I would wait on this one. Now, what I will give it to you is the levels, okay? I want the two levels for the market to trigger. First level, if it wants to go to the further upside, it will come back down, breaking 135 again. Once market comes to the 135, check the reaction. If you want to trade this one, make sure your stop loss is below this one here, and you can trade this to the upside. I'm expecting the minimum reaction to be in that zone, 136.5 to 137. From this level, market needs to break down further if they will not give you a corrective structure. But in all the cases, if you're buying somewhere from here with this consolidation, you need to get out here, okay? Or at least play risk-free, put your trade, to break even once market tap 136.5 and above. This will be a short-term push to the upside, and then after that, we can expect market to start pushing to the downside. And that push to the downside could actually be quite massive, okay? That's why you need to keep an eye on this one, short-term up and potential break to the downside, which could actually give us at least a decent move to the downside. This could turn out to be a consolidation, a messy one here, with one more push up, completing this consolidation for one more break. And that break, you can take it after you have completed this push to the upside. For me, I'm not interested in the sells from here. I'm waiting for my, my levels to trigger here, okay? And from this level, if market will give me the strategy that I'm going to, trigger my sells with, only the strategy 2 and strategy 3 on the 4-hourly would trigger this trade for you in the best possible scenario. For any other strategies, if you would trade this, you most likely will be getting a not decent risk to reward, okay? But if it breaks down, minimum it's going to come back down, into this zone of 134 or very close to that. It doesn't have to have 134, very close to that would be more than enough in this structure. New Zealand, similar structure. We were expecting New Zealand to go to break this top, which is what market did. If any of you have taken this sell and you're still in the sell, make sure you take at least 40 to 50% off. For this one, this might have one more break to the downside because of the alternatives of New Zealand. I can still see New Zealand pushing back up once more, okay? Euro New Zealand and Pound New Zealand especially, I'm expecting them to actually push back up once more, which would give me that, potential drop in New Zealand dollar once more, okay? It doesn't have to go all the way down. It just needs to go below 615, give us a reaction there. That would be more than enough. If it goes to the upside further and break down, even better. You'll get this before you get this, okay? If market is getting ready for this move. Otherwise, corrective structure and one more break would be what you should be looking for in the early part of this week. Pound yen was also, I did mention last week, I was expecting market to give me a break of this top here, which is what it did. Came back down quite sharp, broke this bottom. It will be going back down once more before it starts to go to the upside. I'm expecting this to take some time in this zone here. With the GBP news, most likely we get something like this, and then it would break down once more before it goes back up. It will be just a consolidation. It's not a reversal that I'm expecting here. Bear that in mind. So any time market goes below this bottom here, you might actually be able to get a decent buy setup and at least go towards 170 or close to 170. Once it taps 170, gives you consolidation. You put it to break even and play risk free on this. Okay. USOIL also started this consolidation. Expect this to take some more time. It's going to take some bigger consolidation here, which means early part you would expect a corrected structure. Give your reaction between 72, 73 level here. One more breakdown, break in 70 level, and then push back up again. Okay, this will be the corrective structure would expect in the middle in this week. We might not get this push to the upside in this week. The whole of this week most likely be something like this. And if we are lucky on Friday, we might get this as well. But again, I'm not expecting all of them to be finishing, all of it this week, because it's US oil at the moment, and there are a lot of things fundamentally going on, in the OPEC plus, in the Gulf countries, BRICS, nations, and China not interested in buying more oil at the moment. So all of these things, are impacting, oil prices. Again, if we're expecting the CAD to get weaker in this week, early part of this week, you would expect that prior to that, a corrective structure, one more break would be likely, because the CAD weakness as well, that also will impact US oil. Okay. Again, all these factors could impact this structure before we head over to the upside again. Gold was really good. Again, we were expecting last week gold to go to the upside, give us a reaction again between 2035 to 2030. Market tapped that and came back down again on Wednesday. I reminded you I was expecting gold to go to the downside in the last week. Prior to that, we were expecting it to keep pushing to the upside. It continuously kept pushing to the upside. Now, if any of you are in the sells, make sure you keep taking some partial profits. Expect a corrective structure, one more break to the downside before it starts to go to the upside. Now, again, if market will continue pushing to the downside and break 2000 and start to push to the upside without breaking 1950, then you're expecting it to go above 2100. Okay. If market does not break 1950 and it will start to go to the upside here, something like this, and break again this 2035 to 2030, and then break down, then it's going to go back down at least for a bigger corrective structure. And that bigger corrective structure can certainly go break 1900 even. So I've given you two levels now. Okay. Again, first level, if market will go break this one from here, 2000, and then start to push to the upside here, it will not stop anywhere above this. It will continuously keep pushing to the upside until it breaks 2100. Okay. Now, if it will go to the upside from here, break down, then go back up again, and then break down, this break to the downside will take us towards very close to 1920, 1925. Okay. These are the only two scenarios. For me, would I be interested in any of these scenarios for now? I'd wait for my Wednesday call, Wednesday decoding. I need to really see which structure is in the play, because if you are wrong in any of these ones, you would probably be stuck, because it's literally, if you look at the daily structure here, you're literally at the top at the moment. Okay. If you become wrong in here, you would be stuck in this one, and which is not a good thing again. Okay. If you were to take this trade, let's assume you're interested to take this trade to the upside towards 2040, your stop loss has to be somewhere below this level here. Okay. Which will not give you a better risk to reward. But if you're interested in the sells here, that's what I'm really, be interested in for the setup to get ready for me. At the moment, it's not ready. It can actually start to push back up once more from this structure, the way it is moving to the downside. Okay. So wait until Wednesday. Once I have much more picture, if you're not, someone who's our trader and can't have access to the Wednesdays, then stick to what I just told you and keep watching the recording. You might actually get, a better visibility on the chart as soon as it unfolds more. Dollar CAD. We were expecting dollar CAD to actually give us this break to the downside before it goes back up. It actually gave the corrective structure pushed back up. Remember, we were expecting this to take some time. I remember last week somebody asked me which structure you think in this will be in the play. It will be a corrective structure here, one more push up. Let this one complete this consolidation for one more break. Okay. Now that break could be from the CAD side, nothing to do with the dollar only. Okay. It could be the CAD because after this week, next week, I'm expecting CAD to start picking up some strength. Okay. And that strength would potentially break, give strength to the oil and also to all the yen alternatives, CAD alternatives to keep dropping to the downside. Okay. So this is the structure. If you get a corrective structure early part of the week, you might actually be entrusted to take this for the CPI of the CAD. Okay. If that changes, we'll let you know. But for now, I don't see that change happening. If this changes again, keep watching our daily live sessions. There you would know the updated structures. As of today, this is what we are expecting. Corrective structure. And with this news here, CPI on Tuesday. This is the news on at 1:30 p.m. This probably would push this to the upside if market has completed this consolidation, and that is your trade. Minimum is going to tap 136.50. Okay, somewhere around here, if that will happen with the news. Silver, we were expecting silver to break down last week. This was a clear structure. Even on Wednesday, I told you that this is what I'm expecting, a break to the downside. It did actually break quite sharp. If any of you in the sells, keep holding on to it. This has some more downside. I can see this one consolidation, one more breaking this bottom, and then it will start the push to the upside, tapping 25 level, giving you consolidation for one more break. Okay. Bitcoin, we were expecting Bitcoin to tap 25,000 last week. Market did go very close to 25.8. This is consolidating at the moment. Let it consolidate a bit more for one more break. See the reaction just below this level here. 25,000 is where I'm expecting the next major reaction to happen. From that, it could start the slightly messier corrected structure, which means it could do something like this for one more break before it goes back up, or it could start to go up from here itself all the way towards 33,000. Okay, in all the cases, 25,000 is the next major reaction level. It's very close to that. Let it come back down and then we'll see. I would not sell it. Let me be very clear for you. I would not sell it. I would wait for this to break down so I can look for my buys. Okay. US30, we were expecting last week market to go push up, breaking this top and then come back down, which is exactly what market did. This was a clear corrective structure. This week, the way market has come, last week after this news of CPI, the way market is coming back down is quite slow at the moment. What we need is another push to the upside before it comes back down. So all the indices, we are expecting early part or at least first few hours, next 24 to 48 hours, pushing to the upside, breaking down afterwards for, rest of this week, and then continue dropping from next week as well. Okay. That is pretty much the YouTube list. Let's have a look at the indices and other pairs before we head over towards your requests and questions. US 10 years bond yield, we were expecting bond yield to come back down towards 3.3. It came very close and then went back up again. The way market is going to the upside, corrective structure, one more push up before it comes back down will be likely. This is a part of a corrective structure, which market is going to be in, and it will take some time as well. So early part, we are expecting this to come back down as a consolidation. Check the reaction from 3.5 to 3.4, then push back up towards 3.6, then come back down again once more towards 3.3. Okay, between these points that I've just mentioned, we are expecting market to keep on giving us some reactions. Okay. SXY, we are expecting, those of you who doesn't know, this is the chief index. Okay, as we have the EXY, which is a Euro index, BXY as a British currency index, SXY chief index, JXY Japanese index, AXY Australian, ZXY New Zealand, and CXY as Canadian. Okay, so all of these are indices that we actually look after just to see the strength of the currency. Every single week we do that. For EXY, BXY, AXY, and ZXY, don't go through because it's pretty similar to what we have gone through in the Euro, GBP, Aussie, and New Zealand dollars. It's totally the same chart. Now with SXY, we were expecting last week market to keep pushing to the upside, at least as a corrected structure, and give us a reaction from 12.5 as a consolidation if it wants to push up further. Instead, it actually gave us this consolidation for one more break. This is still a part of a consolidation. We are expecting this to go back upside, come back down, then go back up again. Okay, so you would expect, again, like I said to you, early part, some push to the upside, a break to the downside, and then push to the upside in all the, chief index, yen index. So most of the safe havens, early part, you might see them being, weak. Later part, after 48 hours, we are expecting them to start, having some bulls. Okay. GXY, we were expecting it to come back down after this consolidation, which is what market is actually doing. The way it is coming back down, it is looking quite sharp at the moment. So one more push to the downside will be likely. 73 is where I'm expecting a reaction to happen. I do not want market to break this bottom here. If it breaks the bottom, then the structure will be slightly messier. Okay, we are expecting 73 the max and push to the upside after. That would complete us this consolidation, or at least this push to the upside, which will complete this as being a messy corrective structure in the middle. Okay, so again, similar structure, correction, one more break, short term, and then push back up for the rest of the week. CXY is the Canadian dollar currency index. Again, we were expecting market, by the way, those of you who doesn't know, we were trading this to the downside. First of all, prior to that, we were trading this to the upside. Then we were trading this to the downside, then to the upside, and then to the downside as well. Every single move we have predicted in these sessions. Those of you who are actually our members, you can still see them anyway. In the last Wednesday's session as well, we were expecting a reaction somewhere from here without breaking this top here. Again, if any of you are in the sell corrected structure, one more break, that's how you're going to trade it. If market gives you this consolidation, goes above 74 and does not consolidate above 74, this is going to break down with the CPI news. Where will it break down? It will be breaking down towards 73 level, somewhere around here. Okay. And that would be completing this whole wave for us. And then it can start to go to the upside after that. Okay. DAX, as you can see here, how important this break is. I've been saying that to you. As long as market respects this top here, you're good to go to the downside. If it breaks this, it's going to break the all-time high. Okay, it's not going to stop anywhere in the middle. It's going to break all-time high in the DAX. Again, if the way market is moving at the moment, it looks much more likely that it's going to break the top. This top probably would be taken once more. Without breaking this top, it can certainly come back down. And if it comes back down, and if it wants to come back down, it will need to break 15.5 and consolidate for us, and that should trade. Okay. Otherwise, let it keep pushing to the upside, break all-time high 16.3 and above. That's where you would expect a drop. Okay. DJI also looking like it would need some more time. I can see this one early part, corrective structure, a break to the downside, and then we'll see what market has for us. In this month, I'm expecting this, a DJI also to at least go towards 32.5 in the month of May. Let's see what market does just above this level here, 34 or very close to 34. That's where I'll probably be looking for myself. If the strategy gives me that structure, I will be probably looking for myself towards 32.5 level. Japan 225, this also has some more push to the upside. I was expecting market to go to the upside to break the stop, which is what it did, but it looks quite sharp the way it is actually moving, and also the way it actually ended this week last week. It seems like there is some more upside here. Break down once more, then push back up with this structure. Okay, it's going to go to the upside, probably tapping 30,000. But prior to that, we are expecting something similar sort of a structure here for break to the downside before it goes back up. HSI also has completed this consolidation. Wait for this tiny consolidation on the 15 or to 1 hourly structure for one more break. Okay, 19,000 will be the next level. Russell 2000, also we were expecting this to come back down either as a consolidation. I was actually expecting this to come down sharp as an impulse, but it started to come down as a consolidation. It will take some more time here for one more push to the upside before it comes back down. Would I be interested in this buy? Probably not. I'd wait for this one to complete this whole, mess and then come back down once more. NASDAQ is, let's have a look at this structure. Yeah, so NASDAQ looks like it is going to give you one more push to the upside after this tiny corrective structure. Check the reaction from 13.5 without breaking this top here, this one. And then we can expect this to come back down as well. Again, similar to DJI in this month, I'm expecting this to come back down at least 500 points from this current level, which means you can expect this to come below 13,000 in this month. Okay, Aussie 200 started to go to the upside as a consolidation. It started sharp. This is a pure consolidation. One more push to the upside, then a break to the downside. Okay, this break can certainly take us towards breaking this bottom at least once more within this whole structure. Nifty is, continuously keep pushing to the upside. It's going to come back down in this week. Most likely we are going to get this drop to the downside, and that drop potentially can actually go break this bottom. Okay, instead of coming all the way down, because when we are expecting market to keep on pushing, and completing this 5-wave structure, and if we keep on continuously pushing to the upside, you're potentially making something, like this sort of a structure for one more breakdown. Okay, and that break should not be stopping somewhere in the middle. It will be breaking through all the way to break this bottom. But in all the cases, I will not be looking for my buys in here. I would let this one to go break this top here and then come back down. Minimum 18,000, corrective structure breaking down 500 pips more. FTSE is going really good. I really hope that you keep on booking the profits without saying the profit and without saying the levels. I'm expecting some sort of a corrective structure to take place in the next 12 to 24 hours. Completing this corrective structure, breakdown 76 below, corrective structure, breakdown 74. Okay, that's what I'm expecting. So make sure for the rest of this month, you know how to drill and take profit from this FTSE. Okay, the worst case scenario for you should be in this month from FTSE, a small or a decent profit. That's the worst case scenario. Okay, because remember, we have been selling it from 7,900 and above. S&P 500 also similar structure as NASDAQ. It's a little bit messy at the moment. Let it push back up, breaking the top. This has a potential to break this top, by the way. Okay, this could actually complete this whole consolidation. Once it will break this top, and then it will start to break down. That was all the indices. Let's have a look at the dollar other pairs. Now, dollar ZAR, I wasn't expecting this to go break this top. It did actually break the top, and I did say that if it breaks this top, it will change the structure, okay, slightly. And that slight change is what I'm going to explain it today. Early part of this week, most likely we're going to get another push to the upside, completing this wave here, ending structure, and then it will start to come back down. And this down movement will potentially be just a consolidation completion and then push back up. This will be the main structure, and that's the change. Instead of coming back down all the way, it will be going back down for a corrective structure, pushing back up and then coming back down after. Okay, so keep that in your mind. If you are in this trade, you might have to actually wait for this one to drop, probably after this one more push up. Dollar Mexican, keep an eye on this one. I'll be posting the charts shortly anyway for whatever I think that the trades of the week will be. But keep an eye on this one. This, I'm expecting it to start pushing to the upside very soon. Most likely early part of this week, we might actually be starting to get this push to the upside. Once it will go above 770, it will need to give me a corrective structure and then push back up towards 17.85. Somewhere around here, you should start to, book some profits. But this is upside, what I can see in the early part of this week. Dollar Chief has completed this consolidation on Wednesday. We talked about it. Corrective structure here for one more push up, one more correction, one more push up, completing this consolidation, a bigger one, and then it will start to push down. And that push down might not necessarily due to the dollar. It might be because of both Chief strength and dollar weakness. Remember that dollar weakness that we are expecting is a sideways weakness. which means the dominance in this one would be the chief. EuroCAD, we first took this to the downside. All of you remember that exactly at this level, I expected it to break down. If any of you are still in the sell, make sure, once it comes back down this week, you take your trade off, or at least take 60 to 70% off. Wait for this one to pull back up here. This is going to give you slightly bigger consolidation here. Remember, this is a consolidation we are expecting. We are not expecting this to break down, break this top once more. This we are thinking is the potential top, at least for a good few months. Okay, corrective structure here and a break to the downside. This break can certainly take us towards next 400 pips to the downside. Keep an eye on this one, wait for this to finish, and then you can take this trade to the downside. Any of you who are looking for a short-term trade, wait for this consolidation for one more push-up. Push-up will be likely in this scenario, and that can take us above 1.48. EURUSD also has started to go to the upside, which is what we were expecting on the Wednesday. Again, if any of you have taken this buy somewhere above 62, that's where we were expecting a reaction. This is at least 100 pips above at the moment. If you have taken it from 62 level, make sure as soon as market opens tonight, take at least 50% off. Don't close the whole trade. It's going to give you a consolidation here. Okay, and that consolidation could come towards 62.5. From that level, another push up will be likely scenario in this week. Okay, and that push up might actually turn out to be just a consolidation for a break to the downside. Remember, this we are expecting this to start breaking down after this consolidation. Okay, like we were expecting it from here. Similar sort of a reaction, but we are expecting slightly bigger consolidation here, which will obviously take some more time. Most likely after Thursday, if it wants to break down, this will be to the downside. Okay, but prior to Thursday, we might actually just be seeing some sort of a temporary weakness, push back up, and then come back down. Euro New Zealand, also a similar reaction and similar scenario as well. We were expecting this to start pushing up on Wednesday, which is what market did. Corrective structure early part of the week, push back up again once more. In this week, above 177 is where I'm expecting a reaction. Again, it doesn't have to stop it here. It can actually certainly push back up further. It all depends on how market would react here. If it gives you a corrective structure, it will push back up further before it starts to come back down. This down movement, this will be a monthly move, which we are expecting, which will be happening within this month. But let this finish first in early part of this week, at least. Euro GBP also has started to push up. It's going to break down once more, breaking this low here. I'm expecting the next reaction, the big buyers to enter below this level. 86.5 is where we are expecting some sort of a reaction. Okay, just below this level. Euro GBP has gone to the upside. It was very close to 151. This is where I was expecting a reaction. 150. It went close but came back down, broke this bottom here. Early part, we would probably expect one more break and then it will start to go to the upside. Okay, I'm expecting market to give me a reaction just above this here. Most likely 150 is the next tap. We'll see what market does there. With this sort of a structure, we would expect one more break at least, or a corrective structure. Okay, but keep an eye below this one. It might give you a decent buys. Euro Chief, again, it's not going anywhere until it taps 96 level. Every time we push to the upside, it's going to break down. Okay, until it taps 96 level. 96 is where market will give you a reaction. Corrective structure early part, later part, a break to the downside. Pound CAD, it's going exactly where we wanted it to. It's not moving anywhere. This week, again, I'm expecting market, even if it breaks down, it will not last there. Like you have been seeing that every time it breaks, it push up hard. Every time it breaks, it push up hard. It's not done yet. Even if this time it will break, it will not last there. Most likely for a few hours, then push back up again. Again, 170 is where I'm expecting a reaction. Pound Chief needs some more time, corrective structure early part, and then a break to the downside, completing this bigger corrective structure. Then we'll see what market has for us. 1125 to 115 is where you should be looking for a ranging market in this week for Pound Chief. Pound Oz. Pound Oz is going to the upside very, very slowly. You would expect one more break to the downside before it goes back up. This will be the corrective structure in the middle for break to the downside. You can trade this to the downside. You can trade this to the upside. Would I be trading this to the downside? Probably I'll wait for this down movement. I would wait for this one to break down, take some liquidity below these two levels. Potentially, I would be looking for my short-term buys from here, then a break to the downside. Short-term buys again, if you are entering in this one, has to be 0.5% risk, no more than that. But in all the cases, this is the reaction level we are expecting market to break down from, okay, for a bigger down wave. Pound New Zealand, last week I did say that to you. I'm expecting Pound New Zealand to tap 2.0 and above. Market has already gone above that level. If any of you have taken the buys and kept on holding it, it's fine. You have done good. Corrective structure, one more push up will be likely in here. I'm expecting a reaction just above this level here, 2.02, see what market does there, okay? Because from this level, it can even start to push down once more. But first, correction, one more upside. If it does not give you a bigger corrective structure, if we're continuously pushing to the upside to this level, see what market does there, okay? And if it gives you a sell setup from here, it might not be a bad idea putting the stop loss above and then taking this to the downside. Aussie Chief needs some more time. It's going to give you a similar reaction. All the Chief pairs, corrective structure, early part, breakdown, later part. Aussie CAD is going very slow to the downside. Keep an eye, see what market does here. I'm expecting minimum something like this here to start very soon, okay? Corrective structure to the upside, similar looking like that. One more break, then go back up. But remember, it does not have to give you that one more break. It can certainly start to push to the upside from here. So for me, if I'm looking for any trade in this one, it has to be a buy setup. But again, if it starts to go to the upside slowly, I'll put it to break even or close my trade. Aussie Yen also needs some more structure in this. Push to the upside, a break to the downside, push to the upside after, and then a break to the downside. This will altogether be a bigger corrective structure, which is what we are expecting in this, in this case, similar like this one here. And then it will push back up, okay? Aussie New Zealand, we were expecting Aussie New Zealand to break this bottom here without breaking this bottom, which is what market did. It broke this bottom, went back up without breaking this. It needs some more consolidation here. Early part, corrective structure, 1.07 below, push to the upside, 1.08, very close. It might not break 1.08, and then we will see what market has for us, okay? New Zealand Chief was our trade of the week last week, and I really hope some of you have taken this one. I did mention that the way market is moving to the upside, it did go to the upside to break the top here. And I did say that if it comes back down here, you take your trade off. If you have taken this, the worst case scenario for you should have been a break-even trade, okay? But if you have managed to keep this trade, then that must have been a profitable trade. I'm still expecting this to go further downside to the level that I gave it to you, corrective structure, breakdown once more. And that's where we'll end the trade. Corrective structure, one more push to the downside. Again, then we'll see the reaction just below this level here. New Zealand Yen, again, getting ready for a slightly bigger corrective structure. Remember, this is a corrective structure. It will be pushing back up. You all know that this is not going to stop anywhere in the middle. This is just a part of a corrective structure for a push to the upside. Eventually, we're going to head this up at least 600 pips from the current level. Then we'll see what market has for us. But in this week, stay away if you can from this New Zealand Yen, because it's going to be a messy short-term, early part, upside, later part, downside, then we'll say. New Zealand CAD, keep an eye on this one. As you all know that, I've asked you all to actually keep a list of the pairs in the watch list. This is another one where you need to keep an eye on this one here. It's almost ready for a push to the upside. You don't want to miss it if it goes up, okay? Cat Chief also has started this pull to the upside again, and it started this break. Corrective structure, one more break to the downside. See the reaction from 655. 70 pips break to the downside would be likely in this one. it might actually be going down with the CPI if it starts to consolidate before the CPI. CAD Chief was another trade of the week that I gave it to you last week, and this was the trade to the downside. As you all know that, I did say that to you on Wednesday as well. As soon as market break this bottom here, you need to put it to break even. If you did that, you must be making profit because market never actually gone to that level again. Okay, so this was the trade. Corrective structure, one more break to the downside will be likely. Then we'll see what market has. But if market has already broken with the CPI or before the CPI, broken this bottom here and gone very close to 99 level, CPI will push this to the upside. Okay, so if market does not break this bottom here, CPI will break it. If it has already been broken before CPI, CPI will push it. Okay, Chief Yen, another one. We were expecting this to give us a reaction just above this here, which is what market did. If any of you have taken this sell, you did good. Corrective structure, one more push up will be likely in here. Within this structure, it's going to take some time, break down before it goes back up. It's going to take this top once more, but let it complete this consolidation. Take some time in this one before it actually head over to break the top. Okay, XPT also, we were expecting last week on Wednesday, market tapping 1130. If you remember, this is the level I gave it to you. And then that's the trade that you should have been in. If any of you have kept that trade, that's fine. Otherwise, corrective structure, one more break to the downside. Once market will break this bottom here, take your trade off, or at least move it to break even and play risk-free on that. Because after that, you could potentially be actually going for one more push to the upside, either as a corrective structure, an impulsive structure. In all the cases, I will not be interested in the sell below this level. Okay. Prior to that, you can certainly go for it. What structure would you be looking for? Something like that. Okay, correction, one more break, then it can certainly go back up, or a corrective structure to the upside. Nat gas, we were expecting Nat gas to come to the downside earlier. It came back down, went back up, came back down, and went back up. The way it is actually going to upside here, any of you who are in the buys, I want you to put it to break even. Do not leave it at breaking this bottom here, because this structure, now the way market has ended the last week, there is a potential likelihood in this one breaking this bottom once more. Okay, in the best case scenario, we probably would get a corrective structure here, and that corrective structure will also be coming to the downside first. So for me, I am putting my trade at break even. So should you. If you keep it on and put your stop loss somewhere around here, most likely market will take you, because this structure does have the possibility of a one more break. Okay, Ethereum, as we were expecting Ethereum to continue this corrective structure here, this was the corrective structure, breakdown, one more push up, breakdown once more. 1800, where we were expecting a reaction, it actually broke down 1800 and now giving you a corrective structure. Let it come back down and keep an eye on the BTC. Once BTC will break down towards 25,000, it will be pretty much somewhere around here. Then it will start the push to the upside. It will be going to break the top as well, but prior to that, we need to wait for this consolidation to finish, and then both BTC and ETH will be starting to push up. Okay, that is pretty much all the pairs that I've gone through. Any questions? Please put it down before we head over to the requests. Okay. Right. Euro dollar would break the highest, and if it doesn't call, we sell it. Ali, let's double check that one. I just need to check the chart and try to see what you really would break the highest, and if it doesn't, we can sell it 100%. Remember, from this level onwards, even if market would break this top here, it will just be a sell setup. Okay, because remember what we were waiting for, I did mention that to you on Wednesday as well, that as long as market respects 1.09 and does not break that, it has a potential to break this top once more. Okay, but if it breaks 1.09 and consolidates and break, that is where you would expect the other pairs, other sellers to jump in, because then it will become attractive for all the sellers, and bears will start to take over. Now, from this level, would I be interested in the sell? Absolutely not. What will I be looking for is a corrective structure. looking something similar like this one, but in the opposite direction. Okay. After that, a break to the downside, do not miss it, because you know the drill. It will be going all the way down, probably very close, at least, from this level, minimum 300 pips. Okay. But again, if for any reason market will start to go to the upside, remember what we are really looking at is the probabilities in the market. If anybody tells you I'm 100% going to be right, trust me, run away. Even if I say that or Alan says that, run away from us, because that won't be a reality. No one knows that until a person who's actually going to move the market tells you that, because they are the ones, the big fish are going to be moving the market. The only way to make money is by following them, because market is rigged. You need to be following them only to make the money. Now again, even if it goes to the upside, it will not last there. It will probably be a wick, take everybody out before this drop back again. Okay, so sell is the only thing that we'll be interested in. Even from here, from this level, not really. Corrective structure from this level first, above this level second. These are the only two levels where we should be looking for our sells. Sells is the only things that we will be looking for short term. If you're a scalper, you need to look for a push to the upside first. Okay, again, these are the two sort of traders. One, short-term trader, scalper. Second, if you're looking for a long-term trade or position or swap trading or even daily trading, you can trade this one daily as a scalping or a short-term, and then you can trade this to the downside and then keep on selling it every time market gives you a structure. Keep on selling it like that. Okay, hope that gives you your answer, Ali. Is it possible for the yen to be strong against dollar and weak against pound? It is possible. Okay, it is possible. The reason why I'm saying it is possible, because pound out of all the major 10 economies is actually performing exceptionally good. Okay, there are few reasons. The market has started to adapt Rishi Sunak as being a prime minister. Also, there's a deal with the Northern Ireland that has actually gone approved. Also, the things have started, especially with the strikes and all that has gone past, from the government, and all of this is actually bringing the sort of stability to the economy, and that's why you see everybody would probably tell you that 3 months ago the Bank of England was saying that the growth perspective is actually going down. But now they are saying it's actually coming back to the standard. So again, it can change again eventually. That's why it's a financial market. It's always, manipulating. It's always changing with the human behavior, because that's exactly what we are trading, human behavior. Okay, Ahmed, just a reminder for the dollar TRY. Thank you, Ahmed. I'll probably be doing that shortly once I go through the questions. Thank you for reminding me. Advin, height is the high probability of the gold break below 2000 and towards 1950. Should be biased on sell next 2 weeks. Advin, again, if you were to look for a break to the downside towards 1950, it needs to be breaking down after going to the upside. If market does that and then break down, that would be really good. Okay, then don't miss this sell from somewhere around here. Okay, then you can put your stop loss above the all-time high and you can trade this to the downside. Ayatollah, after silver tap 25 level, can we expect a long-term sell for 16 and below? 16 and below is not really what I see at the moment, especially because of the geopolitics. Especially we have some elections in Thailand, we have elections in Turkey, we have some sort of aid going from Germany to Ukraine of billions of dollars. So this could actually trigger some more aggression in the war. Because of that, I would be skeptical at the moment. Again, this time what we are really going towards some other 2 more banks. I'm not going to name the banks, but I'll just give you a hint. Go on the Google and just research about it. 2 more banks are actually under threat in United States because of the deposit lack of deposits. They could actually be underwater very soon as well. So these could be the things that might not actually keep the safe havens going down a bit. Okay, so wait on this one. From that 25, we need to really see the structure, how fast this goes to the downside. Okay, then we'll probably look for 16, but it will be going down if market is ready from 25. Gold, can the correction wave between 0201 to 027 dropping from 1960 to 1805 touch the upward line? Let's have a look. Can the correction wave from 21. Let's have a look. Right, so I'm presuming that you're talking about this wave from here all the way down towards here. So you're talking about this going all the way down towards 1800. So you're saying in the correction wave between this and it's dropping from 1960 to 1805, touching the upper line. Ali, can you can you rephrase your question a little? Because I don't want to give you an answer which you are not really asking for. Please rephrase your question so I can answer that properly. Edwin, last week you mentioned euro dollar is not ready for the bigger downtrend. Should we be looking for a sell opportunity this week? Edwin, again, the same thing that I'm telling you again this week. Indeed, if market wants to go to the downside, I did mention if it has to break 1.09, give you a corrective structure from this level. All what you need is a confirmation, which market is going to give you in the early part of this week. Next 48 to 72 hours, you're going to get that break, and then you should be looking for a sell. Okay. If that changes, I'll let you know on the Wednesday. But for now, as of today, it needs to go to the upside first before it start to go to the downside. So if you are anyway, if you're in the buys at somewhere about 1.09 and above, you will be fine, because most likely market is going to touch that before it heads to the downside further. High T for pound New Zealand, don't you think there is a possibility of breaking down straight from here without touching 2.02? Pedro, let's have a look. From here, if it breaks down, let's have a look. In this week, there is a possibility, Pedro. I won't deny that possibility, okay? In this week, it can certainly go to the downside. But for me, again, like I said, I need to see this one pushing to the upside to give me a better setup. If it doesn't go to the upside, it will start to go to the downside from here. It will break 2.0 sharp, probably 1.995, and then gives you a corrective structure. That's your confirmation it's going to come back down without breaking this. But again, it will be better to get the reaction somewhere around here. So when market is going to the downside, you don't have any sort of a block left before market start to trigger that sells, okay? This will be a better confirmation. Let's put it this way. But in this week, if you ask me, T, can it go to the downside before, end of the week? It certainly can. It certainly can do something like this because it's a very exotic pair. So you'd expect this to be a sharp down, sharp up, and then start to come back down. In this week, possible. But this is the best, the level where I'll be looking for my sells if it will be ready there. Pound dollar, 1 hour, Steve. Thanks again, Steve. Brilliant. Let's have a look at that pound dollar. Pound dollar 1 hourly looks like, Steve, it's going to come back up very soon. Most likely as soon as market settle down tonight, it will start to push back up, okay, for a corrective structure. I want this to keep pushing to the upside this week. Early part, in the next 12 hours, I'm expecting this to start consolidating to the upside, okay? I won't be surprised even the next 72 hours continuously keep pushing to the upside. James, can you give a 1 hour analysis on the pound yen? Let's have a look at that 1 hour analysis for the pound yen. James, it looks like it is going to give you some more push to the upside, completing this messy consolidation for one more break, taking this bottom, and then it will start the push to the upside. Okay, completing this consolidation. Shanti, Mr. T, is BTC or ETC, TH is better for the buy? Shanti, if you are looking for it, entirely depends on your portfolio. If you can actually afford BTC, go for the BTC, right? But if you can not afford BTC and you can afford ETH, both are going to be going to the upside in the long run. Okay. Now, the only thing that you really need to look for is your portfolio, how much you are willing to invest in this. Okay, and that should answer your question. If you don't want to put too much money into this crypto, then you go for ETH. Otherwise, BTC is your option. Azim, hi T, please check Mara stock. Yes, Azim will do that shortly. Hi T, JG is the good for the buy next week. Jen, again, you must have got your answer in this one here. If I were you and if I wanted to look for my buys, I would potentially be looking for my buys somewhere below this level here. Unless market goes to the upside, tap 169, come back down, tap 168.5 in a corrective wave, then yes, you can look for this. But you know the drill, use the strategy to enter. Robert, Euro dollar needs to complete third wave of this correction before any major up move. Let's have a look. Third wave, yeah, possible, very possible. Robert, remember, this wave can keep on dragging to the downside before it starts to go to the upside, but I do agree with you. It needs to go to the upside very soon, okay? I won't be surprised after settling down tonight. From tomorrow, markets start to push back up in all these majors. Going for the BTC after finishing the one AW impulse wave, do we have a chance to buy 2BY corrective structure wave? Let's have a look. So go, which one are you talking about? Which time frame are you talking about? If you're talking about this move to the upside here, or if you're talking about this move to the upside, kindly confirm that. Sure, Mr. T, will GU start to go down in May? GU will be going down in May. Yes, all the majors down. Dollar will be upside in this month. Even if it has to be the last week of the month, it will be pushing them back up. But within these weeks, within these sessions, we are actually trading up and down regardless. It doesn't matter. As in Mr. Check, okay, that's fine. Can we have a silver and the Euro Oz on the weekly chart, please? Yes, let's have a look at the silver on the weekly chart first before we head over to the Euro Oz. Silver needs this consolidation for one more break to the downside here on the weekly chart, and Euro Oz potentially would be the same. Okay, I won't be surprised if this week markets start to break down, then go back up here before it comes back down. But in all the cases, down is what we are expecting. You know that from May onwards, I did say that to you. Euro Oz, Euro New Zealand, Euro Chief, all of these Euro pairs will start to deteriorate. Okay, Robert, I do not think the major UK banks could stand another stress test in their current state. I totally agree with you, Robert. And you must have heard that most of the major banks like Santander, Barclays, all of them, they are actually closing their branches, okay? If you're in the UK, you'd know what I'm talking about. And it's not just because of this. It's pretty much they are trying to actually, go digital slowly. And at the same time, they are getting ready for something what's coming. Ali, gold on the daily chart could repeat that wave down. Okay, touch the downtrend to head towards 2120. Very likely, Ali, very likely. Yes. Michael, dollar yen 1 hour, please. Let's have a look. Dollar yen 1 hourly. 1 hourly looks like it's going to give you a down wave starting from tonight. Minimum towards 135. If it goes slowly to the 135, it will push back up towards 136.5 to 137 before it's breaking down. Otherwise, it will go slowly to the upside 136 and will break down sharp. All the cases, first move is to the downside, starting from tonight. Fadi, hello, Professor. How are you? Dollar ZAR, please. 4 hour. I'm in the sell from 19.44. Let's have a look. $19.44, that's a really good entry. Now, if you are in this entry, Fadi, I would definitely put it to break even, or at least take a, at least 20 to 30% off as soon as market opens tonight, because I can see this one consolidating slowly to the downside. It can push back once more to the upside, take you out, which is what mostly your broker would do. Goes very close to this 4.0, and with the spread, it will take you out and then break down, and you'll be entering somewhere around here, and then the market will push back up. Okay, so this is the best option for you. As soon as market opens tonight, take 30% off, put the rest at break even. If market continuously going to the downside, breaking this bottom here, take another 30% off. Okay, below this level here, market will be giving you a corrective structure for one more break at 19. You need to be out at least 70% of your trade, and this has to be risk-free, because from this level, it will push back up if it wants to go to the upside once more. Okay, hope that answers your question. Go weekly. Let's have a look at the weekly. Let me just go back to your question. What was the really question? Guys, sorry if I'm actually missing your questions. It's a lot of questions that I'm trying my best to answer all of them without repeating myself. BTC, that's the one. So for the BTC, if you're saying that the weekly chart, you're expecting 1 AW impulse. Do we have a chance to buy TBY corrected structure? You can. Yes, you can. If you're asking me, do you have a chance for this to the upside? You can certainly do that. Okay. Again, 25 is where I'm expecting a reaction for a push to the upside, probably towards 33, 33.5, then come back down before it goes back up within this year. Okay. Right. That is pretty much most of your questions answered. Any requests, please put it down. I'm happy to add them all to the request lists. Let me just start with the two that I told you to remind me, USDJPY and Google. Marathon, okay. Okay, Shanti, I've already added Lira. Yes, I've already added gold and silver, PBR. STI and SE, let's add them both. Tesla, let's add that too. PBR NYC, okay, thank you for confirming. I've already added that one. Call in SCT, Softcat, please. Let's have a look. Right, anything else quickly before we end the session? As you all know that I'm always trying my best to, consume the session within the 2 hours. So let's quickly add all your requests in before we wind up the session. By the way, those of you who are our WTW members, make sure you watch this monthly Q&A session conducted by Alan. It was really, really informative. We have actually broken it down to show you how we are actually trading, how we are actually predicting the market and what major moves, when it comes, how we are actually impacting on that. So it's really informative. Make sure you, if you are willing to learn more, go for it. We always highlight the updated knowledge in our monthly Q&A sessions, okay? Because market tends to change very, very quickly. So we always make sure that our traders, our members are up to date on the new structures. Right, so if anybody else has got anything that I've missed, please put it down. I'll add it at the bottom. Let me just start working on it. As I mentioned, this is where I'm expecting. Now, let's have a look at the bigger picture. The bigger picture is what I'm expecting market to start breaking down here, at least half of what we are here. And then market will start to push back out with this as being a consolidation. Okay, it might be sharp just like that. Okay, this could start with either the election results, which I'm not really expecting that high of a momentum to the downside. But certainly from July onwards, I can certainly start to expect something like this, or at least a movement to the downside. Okay, and this could start to trigger. Now, in this case, if today's government will stay with Erdogan, you would expect market to push back up, taking the top and then come back down. Otherwise, it will start to go to the upside, break to the downside, go to the upside, break to the downside. Okay, from here itself. In all the cases, this is a decent level to keep an eye on. Google, I did mention that to you, remind me on that one, because Google, as you all remember, with the Microsoft, we did say that because of the ChatGPT, it's something that they are actually, trying to consolidate in the future with the Bing, which is their search engine. Okay. Now, Google have tried with the AI tool, but they have actually been unsuccessful, few times. Now, this time they're bringing something really exceptional. It's called Bard. Okay, B-A-R-D. Research on that one. This is something that could actually give a very decent impact on the Google stock. So keep an eye on this one. Also, they are actually building up a very cheap, foldable screen phone. Okay, Only at the moment, few of the companies have it, Samsung, and I think there's another Motorola. Apart from that, you probably would see that, the rest of the companies, they have actually these phones already, but they are very expensive. But Google, first time they're bringing something like this. So these all things will probably be impacting Google stock. So where I would be interested to look for my buys, probably somewhere, let me go to the 4-hourly, probably somewhere in this zone here, okay? Somewhere around here. I'll be expecting this to come back down as a consolidation. If it does that, you can certainly look for one more push to the upside, and that push to the upside would potentially be going towards 125, okay? That's where you should be looking for your take profit, or at least a short-term push to the upside. And again, I gave you the reasoning. And in terms of the fundamentals, in terms of what really is going in the financial world for the Google, you can always look at these statistics. These are very informative. As you can see there that, what you should be really looking for is in 2021, they were expecting the revenue to be higher. This time, this is lower. And this year in 2023, you would be expecting market to push back up again. I'd give you some reasons again. In terms of their, EBITDA, this is really doing good, 32%. In terms of, the margin that they're expecting, the margin has gone to the upside in 2021. After pandemic, it came back down after, as soon as the pandemic slowed down. Now from 2023, you would see that they are actively working on few things, few hardware stuff. That's where you would expect, them to picking up their profit margin again. And these old stuff will actually impact. Again, the debt has gone to the upside in 2022. They have had a bad year in 2022. They're expected to do better in this year, which is what will impact on the stock. Okay, do your due diligence as well. This is just only my intake to give you some insight, like what you should be looking for in terms of the stock buying, if you're interested in that. Mara stock. This looks like this is almost ready to push to the upside once more. After breaking this once more to the downside, 8.5 below, you should be looking for one more push up, and that push to the upside might actually be just a short term, okay? Something like this for one more breakdown after. Something looking like this would be in the play. Neo, let's have a look what is happening to Neo. Neo is actually making a very decent structure here. This structure could potentially push to the upside because structurally this is pretty much done for one more push up. Okay, even if it goes to the upside, downside, for one more break, it will be just extension in this wave before it starts to push back up. Gold against silver. Right, just one more push up and then a break to the downside would be likely. I'm expecting something similar first, push back up, then a break to the downside. HCN. This looks like this has some more downside. It's not ready for upside. I'm not sure about the fundamentals. Do your due diligence on that. Check the asset beta of this company because it seems quite new. And if that will be the case, and also this is a penny stock at the moment, so make sure that you actually do your due diligence on this company before you buy it. Unity. Unity is pretty much getting, ready for another impulse to the upside. Wait for this to take some time. Most likely in this whole week, we would be expecting this sideways movement. Next week, potentially, we can start to push back up. Rivian. Rivian has got one more last drop come in this week. If it gives you consolidation, goes above 13.5, break down below 12, somewhere very close to 12, and then it will push back up, okay? Neo. Neo also has some more downside, but prior to that, we can expect this to complete this messy consolidation, something looking like this. Here, breakdown, breaking this bottom, 7, very close to 7, you can expect this to start pushing up. Wheat. Wheat has got one more drop coming. Most likely is going to take out all the buyers below this level and gives you a reaction somewhere around like this. Okay. And that is your corrective structure in the middle. Most likely we're going to tap very close to 600 before we head up once more. PBR. PBR is consolidating at the moment. It's probably going to keep on consolidating this week as well. If you ask me, would I be interested in trading this week? Probably not. Corrective structure, sideways, one more push up, taking the top, then coming back down within this whole structure would be likely. So you would be better off if you're only trading this one for short term. Long term, not really a good trade. STI. STI is almost ready. It needs one more last drop. Most likely we're going to go tap 3,200 below once more, and then it will probably be pushing up with the wick. Okay, minimum for something like this, like wick, then go back up. Okay. C Limited. Right, if you are in the buys, once market will break the top, make sure you take your trade at least 70 to 80% off, put the rest at break even. Do not close your trade because I'm expecting this to go very close to 100, somewhere around here. And then from there, it will break down sharp, okay? And that sharp break, probably would come very close after this taking the top. So making sure that not holding it for long term would be a best idea, because what I'm expecting is something like this here, okay? This is the corrective structure. One more push up, break down, then go back up. Okay. Tesla will be going towards 150 below. Once market will take 150, that's where we'll be interested in the buys. Make sure once market does that, if you are interested to hold on to it for the long term, this might not be a bad idea, but check what market does below 150. It's heading towards 150, 17 points to go now. Let's see what market does there. SCT is also consolidating. It needs some more upside in this week. So it's not really a best one, but in all the cases, I'm expecting just one more push up taking the top, and then it will start a slightly bigger consolidation here. Okay. LSPD. This also has some more upside. I can see this one crawling slowly to the upside, taking the top, coming back down, then going back up before it comes down for a slightly bigger consolidation. Okay, so 20 and between 18. These are the 2 points where I'm expecting this week's market to play. Microsoft is going towards 308. By the way, those of you who doesn't know that, we were expecting market to push back up from here itself after this consolidation. There was a fundamental reason, again, I mentioned on the Google, it's the ChatGPT, which was actually pushing this to the upside. Just one more last push to the upside. Once market will go towards 320, take your trade off, wait for this to give you a slightly bigger pullback. Lloyd's. Lloyd's looks like a mess at the moment. Whoever is asking me this stock, if it gives you consolidation and goes up towards 48 level, 47, 48, and if it goes slowly, make sure you close your trade. It's going to come back down once more, taking the 42, 41.5 level before it goes back up again. Okay. Tilray. Tilray is right at the bottom at the moment, and it does not look like the buy setup is ready for me yet. I'd really wait for this one. I need to see this one pushing to the upside, breaking down, then go back up again. Okay, then it will be interesting setup. Otherwise, at the moment, if you look at this one, it will potentially be doing something like this, and it can certainly break down sharp as well. So corrective structure, breakdown, and if it does not stop at 3.3, it is going to break through the bottom, then go back up. Okay. Quickly, the last one or two things that you guys have asked me. Let me just read the last few messages. Can you take a look at the cake? Let's have a look at the cake. Cake was right at the bottom last week. It has actually gone below even 2. Let's have a look at the SOFI as well. Perfect. Thank you. You are great supportive. Thank you, Fadi. Bruno, your knowledge on all the currencies are impressive. T, did you backtested all of them? Bruno, I haven't backtested all of them. I'd say that we have backed almost 75% of them. And this backtesting is still going on at the moment. With the time, obviously, we will potentially be finishing very soon. It's not really, some pairs, it's more than 70 plus pairs that we actually go through on a daily basis. But eventually we will be getting there. Okay. But thank you for your appreciation. Cake is going very, very slow here. Most likely is going to go break the bottom once more, and then we will see the push to the upside. This project is quite solid, to be very honest. But the way market has been going to the downside, I think they are just making sure that everybody's out before they start to push to the upside. Because this structure, the way market has continuously kept going to the downside here, Pancake Swap is a very, very common name for the decentralized exchange, and that exchange itself is not a small exchange. It involves a lot of investment in that. Okay, so you'd see that even with a cake, you would have like millions injected into this one in the capital. So I doubt this will go actually bankrupt or go under the drain, but most likely we're going to go 150, and then from there we can expect some reaction. I was expecting this to push back hard, but instead it started to push back down and then give you this consolidation here. Okay, so let's see about 150. Most likely this project is not that bad, but again, in crypto market anything really can happen. SOFI is actually giving you this consolidation. It's almost ready for me to push to the upside. Now SOFI is ready for me to push to the upside. As you all remember that I've been asking you to wait for this one to go below 5, which is what market has done. Now from this level, it can certainly start to push to the upside, and I'll be happy, okay? Because structurally it is ready to do the one more push to the upside. All what you need is a consolidation in this, and you're good to go, okay? Brilliant. T, great live room again. God bless. Thank you, Steve. Bruno, thank you, T. Great, fantastic. Right, guys, that was pretty much all for the rest of this week. Again, on Wednesday, wait for my recording. If I see any change in the structure, most likely I'll be updating you, in that session. After the session, I'll be updating your dashboard with the trades, potential trades of this week. Again, as I promised you in this week, I'm expecting short-term CAD weakness, chief strength, yen strength, gold, silver, short-term strength, and dollar corrective structure sideways. Thank you very much. With that note, I shall see you next Sunday, and your recording will be updated in your dashboard before 10 a.m. UK on Wednesday.